Are you thinking about outsourcing, but something just doesn't feel right? You might be thinking about bloated costs, poor communication, staff turnover, and you're not alone. When I first looked into outsourcing, I was told about things like $800 USD a month or $12 an hour. I was wondering what I was paying for, and I was told it was things like culture, support. I actually went and visited the offices, and I realized what I was paying for were these huge office towers, huge management structures, canteens, these culture days, or, food, whatever days, pizza nights, things like this, and it just wasn't what I needed. So still, what I found, the staff would be working for that provider. They weren't mine. They weren't loyal to me. They were loyal to the provider. One of my triggers for actually leaving outsourcing is I had one of my team members who was working for me about 3 months. I'd put lots of training into them, just getting productive, and they were poached. So they were taken by this provider to another client who was offering to pay more. So that led me, at that time I was in Fiji, that led me to leave Fiji and investigate the Philippines. So starting in the Philippines, while I was given all these choices about providers, I chose the one that was the cheapest and they were 500 USD a month, because simply I didn't think you'd need them anyway. And then COVID hit. So during COVID, I was given options, and they said we can have these staff working from home and it'll be 200 USD a month. And I'm like, well, what's that for? So the staff came and worked directly for me. Then I actually started getting extra businesses. My retention improved, my costs dropped. I was able to actually find staff more quickly, and I was able to grow from 5 staff to the 35 staff that I have today. What I find is my retention and my loyalty is better now than it's ever been. I've got some very long-term employees, simply because the staff are working for me, working for the brand, and they're not working for some faceless BPO. Then I saw an opportunity. I had clients that were actually also similar to me, needed some staff to work for them, and the first one I suggested was, why don't you, they were looking to hire someone who could help them 20 hours a week locally. And I said, well, why don't you try someone from the Philippines? You might be able to get the same sort of person, or even 2, for the same sort of cost, but they're working from home in the Philippines. And then I had other clients approach me for admin tasks, marketing, all these different people that they wanted, but they didn't necessarily want to pay the rates that you pay in Australia. They wanted to pay someone overseas. And that was the clients getting more staff than what they originally thought, and getting better results from those staff. I also didn't have to charge the fees that I was quoted when I was in the Philippines. I was able to just charge a small fee on top, because I didn't have to pay for offices and all these bloated management and IT and all these other things, because it's cloud-based now. Technology doesn't need all this IT, and you can get some great programs to make sure things are still secure, you still know what the staff are doing, and they still do a great job. I've got some Google reviews from some of the staff, and it actually says so much about what the benefits are for them. They can be closer to family, they don't have to travel hours to work, which is a big problem in many countries overseas, including the Philippines. They're actually able to work from home, spend more time with families, support children, support parents, have a much better life as a result of not having to go into these offices in Makati and these other places where these huge office towers exist. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably frustrated with what outsourcing has become. That's why I've built an alternative. I've built what I believe is a better way. It's not bloated. It's just good people doing great work from home who are happier and more productive. So here's what happened next. Just take 60 seconds. I've got a bit of a quiz below. It will show you and guide you through whether we're the right fit, whether this will work for a business like yours. Because at IslaSource, we don't believe in outsourcing the old way. We believe in helping great businesses build great remote teams. So let's get started.